was supposed to do 2 days ago. We're going to dive right in. So, in today's episode, we are going to talk about how the frequency of the people that we surround ourselves directly impacts our own frequency, right? Drop a comment if you're watching live if this makes sense. Listen, we're actually going to dive a little bit deeper into this because it's not just about following positivity meme accounts on our social media or unfollowing the complainers. First of all, great step. If you have not done that already, highly recommend. I think I did that mostly over the pandemic. um, it's what it's really about, and what we're really going to dive deep into today is being intentional with the rooms that you put yourself in and the people you invest your time and money and energy with. Welcome to the Leslie Show, and make sure you stay tuned. Business alchemists to focus on those leaders and makers who want to feel fulfilled and truly embodied in their work. And I use a combination of spirituality, strategy, and in-person experience. Whoops, did we lose me? We're good? Okay. Let's talk about the problem, right? The problem is a lot of times we don't initially have control over who we surround ourselves with, right? As we're growing up as children, like we don't have control over that. Maybe we live in a household that's like constantly arguing and complaining. Maybe our classmates, our friends, maybe as we go to college, our roommates, whatever it is. But at some point, we have control, right? But before that, we're absorbing their habits, we're absorbing their mindset. And I know for a fact that this happened to me growing up. I know I've used this example on past episodes, but like when you scroll back on your Facebook memories and you're just like, oh my god, what? Like, it's so cringe because personally for me, all I did was complain. I was constantly broke. My bank account was always overdrafting. Like, I was always sick. I was always miserable. And maybe life wasn't actually that way, but that's all I talked about. I was stuck there because of the people that I surrounded myself with. We don't even realize it. And then, as we get older, maybe we start exploring, we start traveling, maybe we meet people in class or at work that really kind of open our eyes to like, oh, that's different than what I've experienced. And you start to realize like, okay, in certain environments, I feel a certain way, either better or worse. And then in other environments, I feel the opposite way, either better or worse. Drop a comment if you can remember the awareness. Oh, sorry, I just scratched my arm. When did you think you started to notice these things? If you can, this might be a good journal prompt if you're not sure. Okay. So, why is this a problem? This is a problem because as we continue to be in that physical space or even online with people, we don't see what other possibilities are there. We can constantly be caught up in other people's bullshit, other people's problems. This happens, like I see it on Facebook, and I really think for me the awareness just came like a year or so ago when I just was like, does any of this matter? Like these people that I want to go all keyboard warrior with, like who does it really matter, and is this contributing to the life that I want to live, right? So what do we do about it? What do we do when we find ourselves in these situations or in these environments that are really fucking with our frequency? That's like, it's fucking with my frequency. That's my thing. Okay. We make it's very simple, honestly. You have to take very intentional action and put yourself in different rooms. Follow different accounts. You know, I'll give you an example. Okay, so you've seen me posting the last couple weeks, if you're following me on Facebook or Instagram, about my trip to Arizona for the Meant for Magic conference. So let me talk for a minute about the Meant for Magic conference. It is hosted and run by my coach, Andrea Franco, who I actually started working with her years ago in the middle of the pandemic when I was at, rock bottom number 2, and I realized that like everything around me was so negative. I really needed to do something with myself to get me out of that because I knew that my life was not going to get better if I did not take action. So, um my husband doesn't listen to my show, but I'll say like I did something crazy and I invested in her mastermind and I put it all on a credit card and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just did this. I have no work right now." But I knew that I needed to get in different environments. I knew that my life was not going to change if I didn't put myself in rooms with people with a higher frequency who were not going to fuck with my frequency, who are not going to bring me down, right? And so I did, and I met incredible people, and my life changed. And then I did another mastermind, and I met Shelby, and we started brunch with babes, and like, all of this, the ripple effect that happened. But when I had the opportunity to actually meet Andrea in person and be in a room for days on days on days with other people like me, I had to make it happen. I had to. And I think, oh my gosh, I just realized I have a green screen on. If you're if you're watching this, if you're listening on the podcast, just ignore me. But because I have a green screen on and I'm wearing a green dress, duh, Leslie, poor choice. Anyway, so when I say the people that surround you directly impact you, Andrea, my coach, did an entire year of coaching with Tony Robbins. So, like, Tony Robbins, we all know who Tony Robbins is, again, except my husband. We had to explain that to him. It's like my coach grandpa. And it all trickles down, right? It all trickles down. The people that I surround myself with, the people that I invest myself in, like my clients get that. They get that. The frequency spreads. Okay, so now what's happening is I'm being directly influenced by this energy. I am making more money with less effort. I've got a lot of crazy shit going on in my personal life that I know is all for good, but like it's a lot. But because I am in the frequency of abundance, of love, of trust, of trust. I know that I am fully supported. I know that I am loved. My sisterhood wounds are being healed. I've been, in many situations in my life where, you know, women just aren't they're either intimidated by me, there's a lot of stuff in my past in working with women that has really fucked me up. And being in the room in the physical space, actually hugging other women who, will say like, I love you and I know it and I feel it and I believe it. That's the difference. That is the difference. Okay. I know that I am fully supported. I know that I can trust, and I know that that it's safe to take action, because it can be really lonely when you have these dreams and you have these thoughts that maybe I should do this, maybe I should do this with my business, and it can just get really really lonely. Loneliness is something that I am very familiar with as an entrepreneur because I didn't know a lot of other entrepreneurs in my general community who got it, who were, it was honestly, it was all men. It was men who were already privileged, who already had a ton of money. And my story was different. It seemed a little, you know, careless sometimes to take the risks that I was taking with my business. But being in a community with other women who understood the risk that I was taking, who supported me, that is the difference. And that is why I am doing a mastermind called Business Embodied. So if you're not familiar with me, I am a claircognizant, I'm a clairvoyant, meaning that when I work with my clients, I get visions, I know things, and that is how I serve them in their business. I know what action they should take. I help them with strategy, but we also work a lot with spirituality, and in-person events. So I created Business Embodied Mastermind because I wanted to provide that to other people. So let me tell you just a quick don't close out yet. I've got about 2 more minutes. Let me tell you what you're going to get when you enroll in Business Embodied Mastermind. First of all, we are going to really dive deep into your soul's purpose, into your passions. Are you even fucking doing what you actually enjoy? Because that right there will energetically block you from any kind of prosperity. You have to be in alignment. So we're going to work a lot on that. We're going to work on mindset. We are going to work on somatics, which is just a fancy word for your body work. We're going to move energy through. We're going to do breath work. I'm going to be teaching you yin yoga. We're going to untrap. We're going to release all of the bullshit trauma that's caught in your fascia, in your connective tissues, so that you can up level yourself. I have incredible guest experts. I know that I have announced Naz, and she is like incredible with laws of the universe and manifestation. I have Shauna, who is an amazing, she's a graphic designer, she's an artist, she's a creative, and she's going to talk to you about getting creative, using your own creativity, getting inspired to have your brand and your programs and your offerings truly representing you. And then we're going to have Whitney Buck, who is a somatics queen, talking more about having the energy in your physical body shift so that you can change your frequency. I have more to announce that I can't wait to tell you about. So if you enroll in Business Embodied Mastermind, I have pay in full option and a monthly payment plan, whichever you choose. If you enroll and you tell me that you saw this from the Leslie Show, you are going to get a free intuitive reading from me. I am not offering them right now. I'm actually not doing any one-on-one at all right now. I'm truly focused on pouring into this mastermind. We start June 1st. If you're listening to this after June 1st, please don't let that stop you from reaching out. Depending on when it is, we can get you right in. And like I said, a mastermind changed my life. Plain and simple, putting myself in the frequency of other people who want to fucking change the world. There is no substitute for that. A mastermind is where I met my partner for Brunch with Babes. That has completely changed my life and my income. I am so aligned. And so I will say to you, as we leave this today, again, happy Mother's Day to any mamas watching. It just takes one radical move, one radical shift, one like, I'm going to quick do it before I change my mind, to change your life. To put yourself in the space with people of a higher frequency than you, that will change everything. That is it for this week's episode of The Leslie Show. Please make sure that you are following on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on all the things. Make sure you are subscribed on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you later. Love you. Bye.